Hey Pete, so I'm making this video for you and I just kind of want to show you first my Microsoft Teams board, how I do this with Scrum, and show you a few of my documents as well. So I'm going to start you off here by going to one of my projects. So let's go to my orientation registration project. Here we see the Teams channel. And if you look here in the top, we have the tabs that are on here, and there's the +9, there's a lot more of them. So these are all the sprints that exist. Before I get to the sprints, I first make a product backlog, which you can do on Teams. And these are really easy to create. You create a Teams channel. And what you do on here is you just go to the plus and you go to add a tab. And you go to task by task planner. And you click on that. And you are able to make a new tab. So I'll just write on here, Pete example. I hit save on Task Planner, and I will have a new tab on here where I can do to do, in progress. I can do done, goals, etc. Didn't quite work, etc. And I have this right here. So this is how I can create a tab on Microsoft Teams. I'm going to delete that now, remove it. There we go. All right, I'm going to delete it here too. So let me show you the one I made for product backlog, one of the tabs I have for my team. So on the left-hand side, I got the parking lot. This is a place where anybody can bring up an idea, brainstorm for a new story, and they can put it right here. These don't have to be fully written stories, it's just like an idea someone has, and you put in the parking lot for potential future sprints. Probably 30 to 40% of the parking lot items end up becoming user stories. Then I'm actually going to take you to where I talked about like the vision. And let me actually go to a newer project. So, by the way, these are channels, orientation registration. We have a project for this every year. The general one was our first one, and this is for this year's. So let's go into, and we'll take a look at goals and vision, where here's our vision statement that we have for this project. And this one we just wrote down for incoming students who need to successfully navigate a complicated transition with support from multiple staff and offices. The ONR systems are in need of improvement and upgrade to create a more navigable and seamless experience for students and staff. That's our North Star, our goal we want to do, how we achieve success. Product goals are one by one to get us to that goal. So let me show you. There's product goal number 1, for example, one that we finished. So our first product goal was develop an orientation registration small group assignment tool that intentionally groups incoming students for inclusiveness and belonging so we can pilot the tool by summer orientation. May 1st go live. Here are the milestones that we put as checklist items. So these were all the milestones that we have to achieve that. Now down here is something that we worked on to kind of get to our milestones, and this is something that's more in the business analyst realm. We created a swim lane diagram, and let me bigulate this. And there we go. So we have our ONR assignment tool process map goal, experience a personalized and positive ONR experience. On the left-hand side, this is Visio, by the way, where we have who's doing the jobs, and the boxes are what they're doing along the way. So this just basically is a way where we can like map out. You can do this on Visio. If you want to do a side conversation about this, let me know. We can talk about how to use Visio if you don't know how to use it already. And we just basically have boxes which show our workflow and our work process and all the things that need to be done by different people. After you make this, it's easy to make your deliverables because you have swim lanes and who's doing what. What's kind of nice about the swim lane diagram with Visio is you know who's doing what. And we put our milestones on here, and these milestones eventually became user stories. And that's for all of our product goals. So we have, let's see here. Yeah, we have, oh, that's our backlog, my bad. So there we have our goals and vision, which I create as a just one column. I just name it goals and visions. I put the vision there. I put the product goals and deliverables. The deliverables eventually become user stories over here. And I try to name them. I kind of got a little lazy on this, but I try to name them so associate the user story with the product goal that it goes with. And I even number them. So before I got a little lazier with this, we would name it like product goal 3 milestone 1 would become a user story. And that's deploy small group and advisor counseling assignments into production. And this is kind of like where we are in the project. By the way, we're almost done with this project. So if we go over here to our sprints, and you can see we are currently on sprint 7. We're about to start. We are product backlog refinement already. We are currently on sprint 6. And here we have our user stories. And this one you can see, product goal 5, milestone 2. And then if you go in here, we have our who. This is for the team. Our team is our kind of like our end user for this. So we can identify which placement exams are active and map the output to Salesforce. And why? So we can build out checklist items so the student knows if they have taken the exam. And there's our short title on top, map Qualtrics placement exams to Salesforce. Then here are the checklist items with responsibilities of who can do it. And up here, we actually have those people have been invited to this team. How do you invite people to a team? You go over here to manage team, and you can invite people. And here we have all the people that potentially can be a part of this. Pause, go back, text me, ask me questions if any of this is going like too fast. All right, so where were we? So this is our current sprint. We have to do in progress. We added UAT because sometimes you have ones that are in testing and complete. And it's near the end of the month, and we have a lot of these to get done. This wasn't the best sprint because not all of these got done. But that's okay because they go over to the next sprint. So looking here, we have a user story. If you're wondering what's the deal with this 3 up here, that's story points. And I'm using that in the Fibonacci sequence. I can give you more information in the Fibonacci sequence if you want. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's a way that we can do our velocity or see how much work we can take on. So there we can see the board. We have our user stories. We have our sprints that go by different tabs. Also, I like using Teams because Teams allows me, if I go into my files here, I'll go into, let's see here, process docs, I believe is where I titled it. No, I didn't. Let me go back. All right, let me go to in project Scrum docs. So here we have the Scrum sprint schedule. And as I was telling you, we do sprint planning. We decided to make these basically into monthly sprints. So we're doing that by doing the sprint planning early in the month, 2 stand-ups a week. There's that potential review date where we have to decide if we're going to do a review or not. And then backlog refinement. And like I was telling you, there's retrospectives on here as well. So here we have like a review and retrospective that happened in December. And that's where we make our process improvement goals. So let's take a moment to take a look at that if you want. Sprint planning. What happened here, actually, this is kind of funny. We got rid of our stand-ups because we had to all do like work sessions and work together. So sometimes what I do is if we're going to have a stand-up but the whole team's going to come, I just make it a work session because I don't want to add meetings on. Kind of going a little too far there with that. This is more of what a regular one would look like. Sprint planning, stand-up, stand-up, stand-up. There we had a work session, stand-up, stand-up, product backlog refinement. We were going to have a review and a retrospective, but decided not to, so it got canceled. Actually, we did end up doing the retrospective, but we didn't do the review. So that's basically how it works. And I really like Teams because you can put all your files on it if they're using Outlook, if they're using Microsoft already, if you're using Office. You can use it all there. You can put your board. And the thing is, Teams is also like if your team's using it, you can have chat and conversations where you go to posts. You can like talk to each other and like ping each other for like different conversations that you have to have, which I really like because it keeps your conversations in one place instead of like emails, which tend to get ignored a lot more. So this is how I build my basic board. One more time, going back to the big things I think you'll need are goals and vision over here. And your milestones become user stories, and then they get pulled over to do sprints, which you have sprint 1 up here. And you can easily move these. You go up to here to move task, and you can just put the name of, yeah, you got the name of all the different like tabs up here. And I have a lot because I'm doing a lot of projects. Process improvements, I put them over here, and I just mark them. And then I also, those process improvements go with the sprint that we're working on if we have a process improvement goal for that sprint. There's one right there. Create a card on the sprint board where team members can post their topics, concerns to discuss in stand-ups. And actually, there's the card. And here were some things that we had to talk about during one of our stand-ups. So that's all. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can answer them, make another video if you need, or anything else. Good luck, man.